Tuned into Bradford, this is BCB 106.6 FM.
From the heart of Bradford.
We're actually in the box, but we are in the middle of Bradford, outside the City Hall in Centenary Square. And, of course, it is Bradford Literary Week, and we've got Story Quest. So with us, we've got Kate Markham from Story Quest and teacher Tom from Dixons, and we're looking at an inspiration that came from 11-year-old Gabriel Kahn. Would you like to tell us something about this?
Yes, this time last year I just said to Gabriel, would you like to make a story where you're the hero? And the answer was an instant yes. And it will have been around about June last year, and I never ever imagined it would go this far. He started orating his stories to me, and I just acted as his scribe, scribbling notes, then typing it up in the week and reading it back to him so he would make his edits, and Grandad was messing around with AI art, so produced some images to match it. And this is now inspiring other children to realise they too can be the authors of their own narratives, of their own stories, and they're recognising if Gabriel can do it, so can they. So during the Literature Festival week, we're celebrating children as authors of their own narratives.
So it's adventures then? It's his adventures?
It's his adventure. So Gabriel chose very much in his story that he wasn't a superhero, he was going to be himself, Gabriel. And yes, there's 6 short stories of his adventures. And now book 2 will be out by the end of the school term. And book 2 is a much more confident, complete book, which is, again, still an adventure story.
So that's going to be on the shelves of all the bestsellers then?
Well...
Fingers crossed.
John, this is gaining arms and legs of its own that I never ever imagined 12 months ago.
Well, it is amazing because there is so much in and around Bradford, but there's so much in children, isn't there? And like, you're helping him along. And they always say there's a good book in everybody.
Yeah.
But it's how you put it down, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously talking about things you know about, because it's so much easier.
Yeah, and that's a big part of the process, is the children having the opportunity to orate their stories, first of all, to do all their thinking out loud, rather than having to face a blank piece of paper. And we've done this now with hundreds of children, literally across the city, and we haven't come across the same story twice.
Well, that's great, isn't it? You know, and there isn't the same story twice, because we're all individuals, aren't we? And we've got Tom with us. Tom, you're from the Dixons Manningham Primary School.
I am, yeah.
So you're involved as well with the Story Quest. So, you know, what is Dixons Manningham doing?
So we were one of the first schools to take part in it, and I mean, we've got 8 students with us today, but I've got another 50 brilliant students back at school who have just seen the process of their writing coming to life, and they going back and redrafting, re-editing, just the whole process of writing. But the most important thing, they've seen themselves as authors. So every other bit of writing that we've done after, you know, they haven't seen it as this is just another thing we have to do in class. This is a thing that they've loved doing, and they've had a real spark. And it hasn't just helped their writing, but it's helped their mental health, it's helped their confidence. I mean, you know, yes, last week we took them to the radio at BCB, and, you know, just seeing them come back with this air of confidence that they have been on the radio and been part of it. It's just been fantastic to see.
Well, like you say, you've got 8 of the children here. They're outside there, keeping nice and cool in Centenary Square at the moment. And it sounds like this is something that has really gripped the children.
Oh, it's gripped them. I mean, you know, we've had woolly mammoths, we've had talking lynx cats, we've had a menagerie of animals that are featured as their sidekicks, and like not one is the same, you know, and they have managed to put so much effort and hard work into their stories, and, you know, and we've sat there at the back of my classroom as they've stood reading them out with tears streaming down our faces. It's been great to see.
History then of Gabriel Kahn's book. How did it originally come about then?
I'm going to say the origins of it are actually Bradford. So my family's from Bradford, and as a little girl I remember my granddad orating his monologues to me again and again and again. So oral storytelling was just part of my normal childhood. I then worked as a physiotherapist and had clinics for 20 years, and of course as a physio everybody orates their stories to you, and all the thinking is done out loud, it's all oral. And so Gabriel had loved, as most children do, right from being a toddler, being read to and enjoying listening to stories, reading stories, making stories up verbally, but not necessarily facing that blank sheet of paper. So we didn't realise we were doing anything unusual, because oral storytelling was just innate to us, and I believe it is to everybody. And we'd finished reading, he was still 10 and I'd kept reading to him still, even though he could read himself. We'd just finished reading Treasure Island last summer, and the protagonist in Treasure Island is called Jim. My father, Gabriel's grandfather's called Jim, so I think by the time we got to the end of that, we were a bit sick of reading about Jim's heroics. It was like, come on, Gabriel, it's time for your heroics.
And that's it, of course, we all have great imaginations. I think mainly when we're young, to be fair, because some of the imaginations get a little bit knocked out of us as we grow older. So it must be for you, Tom, obviously dealing with, what do you say, 50 children that are all really interested and really wanting to do this. It must pull you in all different directions.
It does. I think Kate doesn't give us enough credit. I think when she came in and then I saw how it was run, I mean, obviously my background is teaching, so the pedagogy behind what she's doing and the science of the teaching that we do as the teacher, but the science that's gone in to putting story quests together and then we delivering it to the children, I think it's just been a really wonderful process. And now we're here, sort of, I don't know, how long ago did we do this? Did we start?
February half term.
And now we're here, and you know, the kids have had so much time on this story, on this one story, and they've never got bored. You know, they've written it months ago, but they keep reading it and keep telling their story, and they'd never get bored. And I just think it's a fantastic thing to give them.
Well, it is, because if it keeps running and running, future generations, children coming up, are all going to want to get involved in it. And it's an enrichment, it's an enrichment for children.
It's a way to empower children. Through their own stories, they can see themselves as heroes. And I remember Tom's got a wonderful colleague, Kirsty, and I was in her class, and one of the children had created some horrendous UFO attack. All the pets were being stolen or something by aliens. And she looked at me and said, how on earth are we going to overcome this? I don't know, but let's just leave it to the children and see what they come up with. And of course, they had it all worked out. They knew exactly how they were going to solve this UFO attack and defeat the aliens. And so it's really empowering for the children to have opportunity to express what they're capable of and see that they can overcome big challenges that they've conceived and have success at the end. I mean, there was one boy I remember that chose, once he'd defeated a raging rhino and secured a castle, that he was going to become king of the castle. So they have permission to define what success means to them as well.
Well, that's fantastic. I can see Waterstones are going to put an extra aisle in, because there's going to be all these books, all coming from the Dixon Manningham primary school.
I hope so.
There's going to be rows of them in there. So it's been great talking to you this morning down here on BCB 106.6 FM. We're going to hear from a couple of the children in a minute, but for now, thanks Kate and thanks Tom.
Thank you.
This is BCB,
Regional Radio Station of the Year.
Bringing you the real stories, the real updates.
We're the station that really pulses through Bradford.
Airing award-winning radio every day, 24/7.
This is your Bradford. This is your BCB.
This is your regional station of the year.
Yes, of course, it is your regional station of the year. It is BCB 106.6 FM. We're online, of course, at bcbradio.co.uk. As we say, it is a special about Bradford this morning, and we're talking about Story Quest. Joining me now, and we've got two young children.
Morning.
Morning, don't be too scared. So we're hearing about Story Quest. So you two guys, you're from the Dixons Manningham Primary. We're going to go to you first. What's your name, young man?
My name is Ahmed.
Right, and you're going to tell us about it, because it looks like, have you been at BCB before?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell us about what happened?
Yeah.
Go on, fire away.
When I went, I felt really happy and I felt shocked because I couldn't really believe it that I'm going to the news and all that. It was really good having the experience.
And what did you do then? You said it were really good than the news and everything, but you just didn't turn up and do that and make a cup of coffee and sit down and have a sleep, did you? Did there be more to it?
No, we did I read my story, and then.
So this is the story that you've been writing as part of the Story Quest.
Yeah.
And is it? I'm going to ask you now, and you I know you're going to be a little bit biased. Is it really good?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? Just a tiny bit.
So mine is about like I went in this world called Eldoria, and then there was this hotel, and I went to it, and then like a poster caught my attention, and then we went along, and then I was going, and there was lots of strange things like people wearing white clothes, and the sun like it casted the sky and all that, yeah. And
so you had a sun like a custard. That's what you said, wasn't it? I've got to admit, I do like custard, but I think it'd be a bit hot if it was the sun, wouldn't it?
No, it casted a strange light.
Oh, right, sorry.
And then there was this three-headed dog called a Cerberus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they go, no, we need to save Eldoria because the king is bad and all that.
And looking at you and looking at how your eyes are going there and the big beaming smile you've been enjoying doing this story quest, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's great. So we're going to move across now to one of your fellow pupils. So who have we got here? Aisha. So you're going to tell us a little bit about your story then. Let's hear it.
So this is an adventure of a girl called Zara and her talking lynx called Solace. It was meant to be just another peaceful day. Zara was back in her hometown, wandering through the familiar streets with her loyal companion. Solace is talking to the lynx, but something felt wrong. "Where is everyone?" Solace asked, twitching his ears. "They usually greet us by now." Zara scanned the area. People were frantically packing their bags and hurrying out of their homes. "It's coming!" someone screamed in the distance. A deafening rumble followed. From the edge of the forest, a herd of towering woolly mammoths stormed through, flattening everything in their path. The village was reduced to rubble in seconds. Zara clenched her fist. She couldn't just stand by. Her people needed justice. Back at the lab, Zara paced. "What can we do?" she muttered. "How about the orb of weakness?" Solace suggested. His eyes glowed with determination. Zara nodded. "Perfect. Let's pack. We've got work to do." They followed an ancient map, searching for the orb's resting place. "Wait," said Solace, pointing at the map. "The mark is in an entirely different environment." "I know," Zara replied. "This journey won't be easy." After hours of trekking, they arrived at their first challenge.
That was truly amazing, and what I will say to you is, I think you should record that, because you've got a really, really nice voice to listen to as well, and really clear. But that was really, really good. I think, round of applause to you. Yeah. Thanks for joining us here on BCB 106.6 FM. We've got some more people out there waving papers about. We'll come back to you in just a second. Let's just do this.
From the heart of Bradford, this is BCB 106.6.
Like I say, we're in Centenary Square. It is About Bradford, a special edition of About Bradford this morning, where we're looking at the story quest, and we've got Dixons, Manningham Primary with us. We've been listening to two of the pupils who have been involved in the story quest. Now we have two more. We're going to go across to... And what's your name, young man?
My name is Hamza.
Hamza, so obviously you've been involved in the story quest as well. You know, what experiences do you have of it?
It feels like being an author, and especially when I have the best teacher, Mr. Hurst, and he's always helping me, and it's quite fun. Otherwise, in class, I wouldn't do it for anybody else, I'll just do it for me.
So that's great. So you've had a good experience. You've got the best teacher as well, even though he was prodding you in the back to say that. And we've got here then?
Yusuf Hussein.
Yusuf, and you've obviously had different experiences, because everyone will have a different experience.
Yeah.
What's your experience of?
My experience was writing the story, and the story felt like surreal. It felt like I can use my thoughts. I can control the story. That's how I felt.
So you've got total control of it, and that's the thing that you like about it as well. And it's your imagination, isn't it? You're taking it out of your imagination and put it onto paper.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
You like it a lot. We heard earlier that there's about another 50 or so pupils, you know, at Manningham that are doing this and enjoying it. So you're just one of many, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's great. Great to see, because we've got one more person joining us now.
Hello, my name is Sahel Rahman.
Are you having a good day so far?
Yes, I'm having a good day.
You've been part of, obviously, the story quest. What would you like to tell us about it?
Like, I really enjoyed the fact that we were writing it, and that we have like a nice teacher, Mr. Hurst, and Kate and her family helping us with the story, which we really appreciate. And I enjoyed every moment of writing.
Who helps you with the story?
Both of them helped me.
Both of them, yeah. But thank you for your thoughts there. Another young man, Mohammed, so your experiences are going to be totally different again. What are your experiences?
I really had fun writing the story because our teachers helped us a lot. Just really nice writing the story.
But what is your story about then? Just tell me the outline of it. Tell me the headline that says what this story is going to mean for you, but when I read it, what it's going to mean to me.
My story is about there's this boy called Blaze, and he just sees the news, and apparently there's a monster killing lots of people across the country. So he wants to save all the people. So one day he goes to fight the monster, and then finally he killed the monster with his pet Blazer, his tiger, and he got lucky and he found a treasure. So he got lots of money as well.
So I'm looking forward to that because there's lots of monsters in it. Now we're having another little switch around on the merry-go-round. There's a young lady. And what is your name, my dear?
My name is Perry.
So you've got a sheet of paper with you and that, and obviously it's all to do with the story quest. Any monsters involved in your story?
Not really, but there's an evil queen that's trying to take over the land.
An evil queen? Well, it's nearly a monster, isn't it, to be fair? An evil queen. What have you enjoyed about doing in the story quest?
That we were writing about, we got to be an author and we got to be a hero in our story.
That's brilliant then. So, are you looking forward to doing some more writing?
Yeah.
And is your teacher, is he one of the best, Tom?
Yeah.
Tom Hurst, is he one of the best? Excellent. That's what we need to hear. Right, so move along with a gentleman here.
So my name is Ethan, and about story quest, I think it just feels really great because normally in class, I just normally see writing as a boring thing, but then one day it just all changed when we started doing story quest, and I really got to use my imagination.
So I'm very scared to ask you this question because there might be more monsters involved. What's in the imagination? What's in your imagination that you put pen to paper with?
So I started out with a boy, his name is Ace, and he's normally just a regular boy in school, but when he's not, him and his friend are really great heroes that protect the town and the city. So
lots of heroes in these books. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's been great listening to these stories. You're going to keep this story quest going?
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. Of course we are. Thank you very much for joining us this morning about Bradford on BCB 106.6 FM.
From the heart of Bradford, this is BCB 106.6.